Hello and welcome to Hot Stuff magazine. Today our topic is fashion blogging. Have you ever thought about turning your blog into business? Well, in case of fashion, you could do so, and the opportunities are very vast. With me in the studio now is Daisy. Welcome. She's a fashion blogger and journalist herself, and she's going to talk to us about the perks of fashion blogging. So I have a lot of friends who really like fashion blogging, but they only do it for a hobby and they never make any money. So how does one start to make money out of blogging?
Well, it's a difficult process, a difficult and long process. It usually takes at least 6 to 12 months before you can make your fashion blog profitable. Basically, there's two ways to make it profitable. First of all, you can get advertisements on your website. And the other one is that you can actually have famous fashion brands that sponsor you.
So if I start a fashion blog today, what should I do? Should I contact some brand or what do I do?
First of all, it's very important that you get a lot of traffic on your blog. So I would say really wait with contacting any fashion brands till at least 6 months until you have like a lot of viewers on your website and you already had a lot of blog posts. Because the fashion brands, they won't sponsor you if you don't have at least a certain amount of people looking at your website every day.
Okay, so what kind of brands are these who collaborate with bloggers? Can you mention any?
It's all very secret. There are no fashion brand will actually admit that they sponsor fashion bloggers to actually promote their stuff. So officially it's not done, but it is well known that fashion brands, as for instance Louis Vuitton or Chanel, actually do use fashion bloggers to promote their materials.
So it is mostly luxurious brands?
I would say so, yes.
So, for example, H&M or Zara and these brands, they don't really do this?
Usually not, but they might be, but as far as I know, I haven't heard of it yet.
Okay, so what does it bring to the blogger when they collaborate with a brand? Do they get money, clothes, or what can they get?
Most often it is that they actually will get certain clothing that they should wear and then promote on their website. So they get the clothes for free and that's the way they get paid. Other times they do actually get paid to attend fashion shows and blog about it.
So they also can get just like sums of money to spend on things?
Yes, or they will, for instance, what is really often done is that they get a trip for free. So they will maybe fly to Paris and go to Fashion Week there and have all their expenses paid, their hotel and everything, as long as they post blog posts about it.
So how far can it get when you start as a blogger and you go higher and higher? How far can you get? Can you become a designer or something?
There are, for instance, very famous fashion bloggers who did end up being designers or having lines, collaborations with designer brands. So I would say there's a lot of possibilities.
So, for example, which designers did do this?
For instance, Sierra, who has the fashion blog The Blonde Salad. It's a very popular fashion blog. She just collaborated with a shoe brand and she made her own shoe line.
And are there any other fashion blogs that you would mention for being really like important and big?
One of my favorites personally is the one of the Tutorialist. It's a photographer and it's a street style photo blog. So for many years he's already been posting street style photos, which actually made him really famous. He has published several books and he is now also a regular photographer for photo shoots for Hell or Vogue magazine.
So where do these people come from? Are there any countries in Europe where fashion blogging is really big?
In Europe it's quite the same everywhere. There's not really any country that's where it's more popular, but in the world I would say Japan and China are the most popular countries for fashion blogging.
Well, that's surprising, but are they famous also outside the countries, or are they just famous inside?
It's more an Asian phenomenon. I would say that the Asian fashion blogs aren't really popular in European countries or in the US. just basically simply because of the cultural differences.
Mhm.
What is fashion there is usually not really considered fashion in any other countries.
And what about you personally? You are a blogger yourself. Can you tell us something about your blog, how you grew with it?
For me, it went quite naturally. I started reading a lot of fashion news, fashion websites, started following fashion weeks, and whenever I thought something was really nice, I just would write about it and post it on my blog. So it's usually just personal favorites, or maybe something I don't like and I want to criticize. Yeah.
So how do you work with your blog now? Are you still active, or did you shift towards something else?
I'm not so active anymore as I used to be. I now like to more focus on writing articles and selling those to magazines. So right now I usually just use my blog to actually post articles that I've written for magazines.
So you are becoming more a journalist than a blogger?
I would say so, yeah.
And are there any things about being fashion journalist that can be compared to being a fashion blogger? For example, the collaboration with brands?
I would say being a fashion journalist is, I mean, you have to work quite digital anyways. So it's quite comparable to fashion bloggers. Although fashion journalists tend to write longer articles and maybe do more interviews, like fashion blogs still tend to be more your own opinion, where fashion journalism usually isn't. So.
Okay, and now let's talk about some fashion blogging and fashion journalism in Sweden. Are there some important worldwide famous blogs that come from Sweden?
No, actually not really. There are some from Denmark, there's two, but not from Sweden itself. It's not really big here, the fashion blogging.
But I really like the blog which is called Stockholm Street Style.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not really like worldwide famous?
No, not really. Although I have to say that Stockholm is quite a fashion capital, but it's more popular among Scandinavian countries, not really worldwide.
Okay, so I would expect that it is a very big thing in the US, but from what you say, it is not the place to be.
No, it's really weird. Of course there are fashion blogs, but overall I would say in Europe and in China and Japan you have more dedicated fashion bloggers, because the most important thing about fashion blogging is that it really takes a lot of dedication. You have to blog post almost every single day, and yeah, it's a lot of hard work, and somehow that's more popular in Europe.
Do you have any friends who do fashion blogging too? Do you know anyone who has become really like big, or they have really a lot of money that they earned by fashion blogging?
I don't know anyone personally, but the woman I talked about before, Sierra, she owns the fashion blog The Blonde Salad. She really made her full-time job out of it, and I know that she earns a reasonable amount of money with fashion blogging.
Do you know how much it could be?
No, I don't know exactly, but I know she also works next to it as a stylist.
So how do you see the future of fashion blogging? Is it bright, or is it going to disappear? Is it going to be replaced by something?
I think it will stay for a while. Probably will be replaced by something else, but right now I have no idea what that could be. But yeah, I think there will be fashion bloggers. There will be a lot of the amount of good fashion blogs will probably be quite limited. Like fashion blogs with original content, there will be a lot of fashion blogs that will copy content from the original fashion blogs. But I guess there will be.
Do you think that they will emerge with the importance as a marketing tool?
Yes, I definitely think they will become more and more important with promoting fashion brands, as we already saw the development with being sponsored by fashion brands.
So you think that it actually might become something which is not secret, which is like a normal marketing strategy to use bloggers?
I think it will always be kept a bit secret.
Mm-hmm.
I think fashion brands do not like to admit that they actually pay people to wear their stuff.
Mm.
So they will probably never be open about it.
Mm-hmm.
But of course everyone knows that it's being done.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for the interview. And dear viewers, I want to say good night for today and see you next week. And our topic for next week is going to be sports marketing and sponsoring. Goodbye.